Competing game franchises. We're all familiar with them. From the likes of Mario with Sonic, Smash Bros. With PlayStation All-Stars, and Street Fighter with Mortal Kombat, the list goes on and on. But it's the hack and slash or character action genre that has more competitors than anything else. Of course, ever since the release of the original Devil May Cry back in 2001, many other studios and devs tried to have their answer to Sony's demon-killing hack and slash game. Take the following examples, starting with Otogi Myth of Demons, developed by From Software, and it was released in 2002 for the original Xbox. In that game, we have a character who uses stylish sword combos in order to try and rid the land of demons. We also have the Ninja Gaiden games. With the help of Tecmo and Team Ninja, they took what was once a 2D platforming game and turned it into a challenging 3D hack and slash in 2004, on top of a very unique and deep combat system. Now, of course, movie tie-in games weren't safe either. One of those examples is Ghost Rider. The game was developed by 2K Games, the same people behind the Bioshock franchise, and it was released in 2007 for the PlayStation 2. The reason why I'm bringing this and another game up in due time is because of the fact Ghost Rider has a very Devil May Cry 3-like style meter. The more you do stylish and a variety of combos, as well as not taking damage yourself. Even Capcom themselves were trying to recapture the magic that they made after releasing Devil May Cry 1. A prime example of this would be the 2005 game Nightmare Before Christmas, Oogie's Revenge, a game that is set after the movie itself, and I would like to talk about this, but other YouTubers like Snooping Turtle and Gaming Brit Show already did their reviews on this game, so just watch their reviews after watching this. But out of all the games that I just talked about, only one is what people consider the true competitor to Devil May Cry. The game in question would be Platinum Games' 2009 Bayonetta. The ironic part is that this game was made by the same people who once worked at Capcom and made Devil May Cry. So enough of this. For this re-review, I'm taking another look at the original Bayonetta, and I'll be using the version you could get on the Switch if you buy Bayonetta 2. Enjoy the show. Hello everyone, and welcome to a new re-review where I take a look at a game that I already took a look at, but give it a fresh coat of paint. For today's subject, it's going to be the original Bayonetta. Bayonetta is a 3D action-adventure stylish hack and slash, originally released back in 2009. It was released for the PlayStation 3, the Xbox 360, PC, PS4, Xbox One, and the Nintendo Switch. It was developed by Platinum Games and had two publishers, Sega during the 2009 era and Nintendo during the Switch era of this game's release. Prior to, I want to say, the release of Smash Ultimate, I didn't know who or what Bayonetta is. So when I asked one of my real life friends about her, he told me that Bayonetta was a witch who fights angels and uses her hair as clothing. Now at first that did make me question the game a bit, but I didn't judge a book by its cover. But I did become interested in Bayonetta, as in both the game franchise and the character after the release of Smash Ultimate. So once I got my own Switch along with Smash Ultimate, my mom bought me Bayonetta 2 for my birthday, which came with the original, and I loved both of them. I have my prior experience with the Devil May Cry games to thank for getting me into the combat of the game. But enough of my personal history. Here's the question. Is the original Bayonetta still good, and is it something I can recommend to you? Let's find out. Okay, so usually this would be the part where I go over the game's story, but for this video, I would like to talk about the history of the dev studio Platinum Games. So I say let's travel back to the year 2001, shortly after Devil May Cry 1 was released. Now I didn't mention this in either of my Devil May Cry 2 reviews, but when Capcom decided to make a sequel to DMC1, they didn't get any of the original team who worked on it to come back to do the sequel. Guess how that turned out in the long run? The director of DMC1, Hideki Kamiya, along with the rest of the team, Team Little Devils, didn't know that Capcom decided to greenlit Devil May Cry 2. You could tell that this disappointed Kamiya since DMC was, in a way, his passion project, and he wanted to continue working on it since it was the first time he can put all his love of arcade classics into his own creation. So we all know this song and dance with Devil May Cry 2 already. Unknown director left, Capcom called upon Hideaki Itsuno to salvage what was left of the project, and Devil May Cry 2 was released to numerous negativity. But what about Team Little Devils? What happened to them? Well, they no longer went by that name anymore. Instead, they went by Team Beautiful, and most of the staff helped Kamiya work on Beautiful Joe, which was developed and released for the GameCube as part of the Capcom 5, which I'm not getting into, that's a story for another day. To put in short, Beautiful Joe's gameplay is a 2D platformer brawler, but Joe has the ability to slow down time, something that we'll see in another Kamiya game. Now, even though Beautiful Joe was successful, you can tell Kamiya was still sour about no longer working on DMC. Hell, there's an enemy in the game named Alistair, and in the PS2 version of the game, it includes Dante and Trish as playable characters. Now, while Team Beautiful worked on the sequel, they were later renamed to Clover Studio. The staff consisted of Atsushi Inaba, who produced the first DMC, Shinji Mikami, who worked on the Resident Evil franchise, and of course Hideki Kamiya. Simply put, Clover Studio is a second-party developer under Capcom to create new IPs like God Hand and Okami, all while Capcom themselves worked on their legacy franchises like Mega Man. But unfortunately, due to Okami, Beautiful Joe 2, and God Hand not raking in high sales numbers, along with clashes between developer and publisher, Kamiya, Inaba, and Mikami left with most of Team Beautiful to create their own studio, which led to the creation of Platinum Games in early 2007, along with the creation of Bayonetta. Alright, with that massive history lesson out of the way, and before people start rattling off in the comments saying, Bayonetta was probably created by the perverted male. Bayonetta was not created by a male. Bayo's main character designer was Mari Shimazaki. Just wanted to clear that up in case people who stereotype Japanese people as being very perverted are watching, which in that case you can fuck off. So without further ado, let's begin with the story. Alright, so many years before the main events of Bayonetta took place, there were two clans, the Lumen Sages and the Umbra Witches. Along with those two clans, we have three realms, Paradiso, aka Heaven and ruled by the Lumens, Inferno, aka Hell and ruled by the Witches, and the human world with the rest of us. There's also Purgatorio, aka, well, Limbo, or the space in between. But anyways, one day a Lumen Sage and Umbra Witch decided to hook up, and the Umbra Witch gave birth to the child. And the two clans waged war, causing both clans to go almost extinct. Fast forward around, I want to say 5 centuries later, Bayonetta woke up from a long slumber, being one of the last Umbra Witches. But she has amnesia and can't remember anything, so she goes on a journey to find out who she really is. On her journey, she'll have to slaughter numerous angels, go against Jean, no not you, horseface, and stop the resurrection of the creator, Jubileus. So there's a lot that happens after, I want to say, chapter 3 or 4, and until around chapter 14, the story kind of takes a bit of a back seat. At the end of the day, the story is just about Bayonetta coming to terms with who she is. So that's the story, and trust me, I would go into more detail, but I feel like you should experience the game for yourself to see what the story has to offer. But as I said in my Bayonetta 2 review, I don't play Bayonetta games for story, but gameplay. So, how does the gameplay hold up? The gameplay of Bayonetta is more like a floatier version of Devil May Cry, primarily Devil May Cry 4. We take control of Bayonetta from beginning to end, and the name of the game is Hack, Slash, Die, and Climax. In terms of controls, I definitely missed the glide you could do in Bayonetta 2, and that did slip me up a few times. A few core features of Bayonetta's gameplay are the torture attacks and witch time. Yeah, in this game, the Umbran Climax is only a boss exclusive, and you can't use it like Devil Trigger in Bayonetta 2. Let's talk about the torture attacks. If you have a full magic bar, you can press the two buttons on the controller, and Bayonetta will perform some kind of BDSM-like attack, which after a lot of button mashing, can one-shot your opponent no matter how much health they have. For witch time, I want to say it's a natural evolution from the slowdown move from the Beautiful Joe games, except witch time is dedicated to the dodge button. Dodge at the right time and time slows down, allowing you to unleash a deadly combo on your enemies. At the end of each chapter, we have this angel attack minigame, where we can get some more range, I mean halos. Yeah, halos. which is the game's currency. Yeah, they look like rings from the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. The game was published by Sega after all. In terms of visuals, while it does hold up, I feel like it's a bit drab for my liking. Textures just look a tad dull, and while I do like the color combo of black and red, I feel like Bayonetta doesn't pop out as much as he does in the sequel. In terms of OST, it's mainly Spanish with 70s pop as well as jazz. One of the songs is the battle theme, which is called Fly Me to the Moon, which is a reference to a Frank Sinatra song of the same name. The people at Platinum are pure geniuses. Taking the Frank Sinatra song and turning it into a battle theme must have taken a lot of time. So overall, the OST is pretty great. So let's recap everything we just went over. The story is over the top and I love it, even though it does take a back seat fairly early. The gameplay is very good, visually it's a tad bland, and Bayonetta doesn't pop out as much, and the OST is magnificent. Here are my closing thoughts. Overall, Bayonetta 1 is still what I consider a great action game. I feel like why most people don't seem to like it is because of the fact that the main character kills angels, the story doesn't make any sense, or the gameplay is repetitive. But to me, that's what I love about the franchise. Plus, name me one other game where I can have a snarky female protagonist in an action game that isn't Devil May Cry. Go on, I'll wait. It is with all that in mind, I'm giving Bayonetta my new score of an 8.5 out of 10. Like I said, I love me a fun action game that doesn't take itself seriously, and Bayonetta is a prime example of that. From characters like Rodin, Enzo, Jean, Luca, and Bayonetta herself being a joy to listen to the great stylish gameplay and just as stylish music choices for the game's OST, I say give Bayonetta a shot. But now I want to know from you all, did you play Bayonetta? Did you enjoy it? And could you recommend it to a friend? Leave your answers along with many more in the comments below. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and while you're here, consider subscribing to the channel and turn on the bell to be notified when I make a new video. Share this with either a friend or a fellow Bayonetta fan. Just make sure your friend isn't the overly religious type or the kind that likes to stereotype people. Anyways, as always, my social media links are down below. I've been Horror Kid, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care, everybody.